in my head. Allô, allô, qui est là? C'est moi. Venez jouer avec moi. Tout de suite? Oui, tout de suite. À tout à l'heure. À tout à l'heure. And my friend Samantha is laughing her ass off right now. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thanks for being here. Happy Wednesday. Happy Capricorn moon. As of tomorrow, happy Scorpio sun. The sun goes into Scorpio tomorrow. I'm going to pull up that chart probably. We'll take a look at it because that can show you the tone of the sun's transit through that sign. So remember that anything, it can be a birth chart. You know, when you look at the start of anything, you can make a birth chart for it and track it over that period of time. So yeah. And no Reese's Cups because peanut butter makes my arthritis terrible. I mean, sugar isn't the greatest. Clearly, we are not on keto right now. Not on strict keto. We're still not eating grains because those are the worst for me. But this is part of our self-care. All this game. Hey! Pywacket is crazy tonight. He's very crazy. He's been sleeping all day. All he's wanted to do is be in my lap and be held, and now he's got the rips. So he was just climbing my guitar case. And once he asks to be picked up, I will bring him in. But I ain't about to do it now because he's pointy. All right. Having trouble hearing me. Okay. Thank you. Yeti, yeti. Better? Better? Is that where we need to be? I know there's a delay, so we'll wait for the buffering and then you can let me know if it's working or not. Okay. Come on up. Guess who just found his own way up? All right, is the volume better? Okay. Volume better? Let me do this so you can see him. There he is. Say hi, Pie Pie. Hey, over this way. Looky, look over here. Pie Wacket. Look up, boo. Oh. Yeah, he's taking down the wildebeest. Okay, great. I'm glad. I had to fix things because my settings got all messed up. Ow! Hey. My gain got turned way up in my volume, and it was terrible. So I had to like reset everything today. And thank you for getting that taken care of right off the bat here. So, and yes, I turned the waves down. Sorry. Thank you for putting up with my sound check. Yes, here's Pie. Here's no. Oh, not in a million years, little boy. Okay, come here. He is going to be crazy boy tonight. Look, say hi. Say hi, Pie. Say hi. He's just like, what can I fuck with? Okay. Here, up here. Take down the wildebeest. There you go. But you got to stay up there. You can't come over here. It's hot. Hot things. All right. So he's been a crazy boy. Do I need to repeat things from the beginning? We're in a Capricorn moon. Sun goes into Scorpio tomorrow. I was talking about birth charts, that anything can have a birth chart. And things that are, yeah, he is so stinking cute. Things that are already have a defined time period. You know, you can do things like that, and then you can do birth charts for things that have an extended, indeterminate time period, like a marriage or a lifetime, for that matter. Hey, all right, are you up or are you down? He has just discovered today that he can climb up on this chair and get on the back of this all by himself. So, are you coming around the mountain? Did you come around the mountain? Okay, I'm going to be in the lap. You can be in the lap. All right. Pain Pain in 3, 2, 1. So anyway, you can do a natal chart for the sun's transit into a particular sign, and that can show you, how what the tone is for that sign. So tonight, and Capricorn moon, of course, things get done on a Capricorn moon. I just get suddenly responsible on a Capricorn moon, suddenly structured and motivated. But I was going to talk about the candy. This is part of our self-care. Things. Let's just not be in a second's worth of denial about the stress that we're all under. This giant unknown hanging over our heads, and this is a test of faith. You know that blank card in the deck? I always read that as a test of faith because it indicates that you're in a situation where you don't know what's going to happen. Spoiler alert, that's all the time. But when it's obvious, when life nails us with that reality, he just bit my tent. I love you so much. Anyway, when life smacks us with that reality, when, as Pema Chodron, we get into what she calls the big squeeze, there's no escape, then we get to see what is the basis of our faith. What do we believe in? What have I done? Get up here. If you're going to do this, at least entertain the people. Wow. So I just want to validate that, as I do, that it really is that heavy. It really is that important. We are living in historic times. What happens in a couple of weeks is going to make history, one way or another. So I was finding myself getting pitched into a depression and just unable to do anything. And except, get through the things that I absolutely am obligated to do. Lack of motivation, been sleeping my ass off. Let's mention that we're past the equinox, so we're also into SAD territory. I have seasonal affective disorder because I'm a highly sensitive person, trademark. And I'm sure a lot of you, readers and sensitives and psychics, do as well. So let's acknowledge that. And I'm a sugarholic. When I'm not on keto, my old life, I could binge like nobody's business. What? And we allow ourselves, we allow ourselves everything in moderation, excess in moderation, and every once in a while you just got to do it. So, popcorn and candy, and it's Samhain season, for God's sakes. We celebrate our holidays. It's like around Christmas we will have really good candy in the house, dark chocolate and dried fruit and all kinds of great stuff. He's down here ready to shred me. So I sent my husband out to the store tonight. It's like, go get some popcorn, go get some candy. So I may be slamming some sugar throughout this, but eating and talking doesn't work out so much. So okay, let me catch up on comments. All righty. Yeah. Now is all we ever had and all we ever will have. And yes, I agree with you, Rose, absolutely 100%. We need to get right with now because it's all that exists. It's all that exists, this moment. So, for us, but we're not in the quantum territory right now. For us, in our reality, in our perception, lifetime, that's where we're at. So, what I chose tonight is the Light Seers Tarot and the Dark Mirror Tarot. I thought that might be kind of a fun balance, that maybe we'll start with the Dark Mirror to see what might be manifesting in our test of faith. So, like I said, when there's no answers, you get to see what your belief system is. And before we become conscious, that belief system can be just horrific. We go into the stories of how we're going to end up dead, or, all these catastrophes are going to happen, and, or how we're a horrible person. We go into fantasies to fill the void. And I believe it was Yeats that talked about negative capability as being the ability to be in doubt and uncertainty without any unreasonable grasping after truth, I think he said, or grasping after answers or something like that. It's a pretty close paraphrase. I've just seen it again recently. And for God's sake. All right. Listen, little man. Listen. Listen. You are familiar in training. Listen, you're familiar in training, little buddy. You gotta learn what happens when ritual starts. And I know you're a baby, and I know you've got the energy of a steam locomotive right now. So, I know if I put you down, you're gonna climb right back up this chair, and I can play that game for an hour and a half until you wear out. Now, I will also tell you, he is the snuggliest baby. He loves me. I am his mama. He talks to me. I'm so happy. Anyway, okay, let's get started here. So we'll look at what's coming up. And when we're in that doubt and uncertainty, the shadow stuff comes up. Our psyche projects. And it projects our worst fears, which is part of our shadow, right? So we'll look at what's happening there and then see if light seers can give us a way forward. All right? Before I start shuffling, it's been raining here. Everything is sticky. And we took the air conditioner out, and my hair is up because, never mind. So I can't even use it as a dehumidifier. All right. Put your roots down. Let your breath drop down into your belly. Get down in your body. And put your roots down into the ground and let some energy run. And I invite allies, ancestors, guides, and guardians in. I offer you fresh water. I offer you fire. And I offer you fire of Azrael. Spirit of divination, infuse these cards. Bring true messages. Messages that can connect us all in our commonality, messages that can give us a good way forward, the best way forward for us, so we can thrive in our times. All right. The other thing I have to really be careful of is that I do not, because I'm on a rolling chair, that I do not move this chair while I'm sitting on it without knowing where he's at. So it's retraining for me too. Okay, who are we talking to first tonight? He just jumped on the chair. Great. Who are we talking to first tonight? Hey there. Oh no. Yay. And I want to say welcome to everybody. Welcome Samantha. Welcome Jennifer and Rose. And welcome Orsi. So nice to see you all here. If you're lurking, please just check in and so we can see that you're here and tell us where you're watching from. Because that's the price of admission. It's my special thrill to know where everybody is. Okay. Cancer is who we're going to talk to first tonight. All right. Our Cancer friends, please tell me what particular bit of the shadow they might be wrestling with right now. Whoop, there it is. Envious gluttony. Let's have a candy bar. Let's have some candy on that one. Mm-hmm. Hi, Ann. Oh, sorry, baby. Hi says hi. All right. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that and talk, so we might have a break halfway through. All right, number 9, envious gluttony. And now I have to deal with all this in my mouth watering. and I can't edit this. So, all right. The moon phase is waxing gibbous, which is, hold on, which is where we're at now. And the stage, the grief stage, as they have with these cards, is denial. It says, going to the edge of the ravine, savoring the idea of letting go all restraint. The sentence is, there is hunger sleeping just under the surface like an animal lurking. This card is not just dark, it's unpleasant, sickly, disgusting. The difference in how we feel in front of a vampire as opposed in front of writhing bugs. Okay, I'm not going to read all these. The key is that we don't want to recognize the depth of our envy and anger. We cast it out of ourselves, and now it's truly a parasitic monster, impossible to accept as something that came out of ourselves. So this is getting pretty apocalyptic here, but let's just look at envious gluttony. That where in the past have you looked outside of yourself and said, you have what I deserve. You have what I cannot get, and it's the I cannot get that triggers the gluttony part. If you're thinking that those good things are outside of yourself and not inside of yourself, then it's time to acknowledge that you wouldn't even want it unless it was already part of you. So this is just the shadow part that we're going to acknowledge, all right? And let's look at, they're telling me right now. We have the Three of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Six of Swords. So clearly we're talking about childhood trauma. We're talking about places where we didn't get what we needed. And when you don't get what you need, that can set up a craving, you know, because your system needs it in order to move on to the next step. And if you don't get that, there's this craving, and that craving can be projected outwardly because when we're little, we don't understand, you know, developmental stages and what our emotional needs are. And it's being very good. So we don't know to look in ourselves or to look to our family of origin. We just know that there's this craving, and we can look outside of us and say, you have what I ain't got. And I'm jealous, and I'm angry, as you should be angry, but it's projected outward instead of towards where it needs to go. His claw is just going to be perpetually in my armpit tonight. And then we have Six of Swords, which talks about moving forward in a really determined way. So looking at where we are trying to fulfill emotional needs with, you know, they just don't cut me any slack, do they? I'm sitting here going, yep, we do this. We're going to go. But this isn't envious gluttony. This is straight up gluttony. This is therapeutic gluttony. Okay, celebratory gluttony. How many ways can I justify this gluttony? I love it. But there's no envy in there. That's the point of this. It's joyful gluttony. So this is talking about envious, which is saying that I'm there's something I'm recognizing outside of myself that I really need inside myself. So Cancer. And then the Six of Swords just says it takes determination to move forward, to recognize that, and then look at how it operates in your life and choose another way. All right. Okay, let me catch up on everybody. Hungary, Orsi. Okay. Norway, Guyana. And oh, Samantha, you need a fetching animal. You need a fetcher. All right, so Cancer Moon, okay. Yes, greetings to everyone. Lisa, Samantha, Orsi, Anne from Norway. This is great, and I would love you all to, it's not on this video yet until this goes to video, but get onto my Discord. Go over, join. It's free. I'm going to, once Mercury turns, start actually scheduling voice chats and things like that, so we'll know when to hang out, when to get together to hang out. For now, I need to build the community, so go on over there, just sign yourself up, join the Zen Witch server, and then we'll see where we go from there. This is all brand new to me, and it's a blank slate, so I'm very excited about it. All right. When the cards read you. You got that right. All right. Aquarius is who's up next. And we have anger and chains. So let's go here first. You're being such a good boy. You're being such a good boy. Can I kiss your head? Kiss your head. Oh my God, I'm head over heels in love, you guys. Okay. Yeah, you do. This is the serotonin generator. All right. Anger and chains. Moon phase is waxing crescent. See, I was trying to figure, I can't remember if we're in waxing crescent or if we're actually in gibbous. Waxing crescent is before the half. I don't think we're at the half yet. The half is when it goes into Aquarius. All right. I answered that. All righty. The grief stage is anger. Force channeled outside, unreasonable, undirected, but powerful. The sentence is, I've got to break free. I want to be free. That is Aquarius. Boy, is that ever your shadow side? Just get me the fuck out of here. I don't care about my obligations. I don't care about responsibilities. Burn it down. Drop a match. I'm out of here. So the anger to bust out of the chains and just get free. Okay. How can you unfetter yourself from a bad situation, leaving all the rest unchanged? Okay, I'm remembering now how funny the translations in this book are. So talking about when you want to break free, that it's not a controlled thing. If you decide to completely bust free, that's like the Tower card, lightning strike, not a controlled event. So when you want that level of change, it's not going to be controllable. You can't really decide when you're throwing the grenade, I want this to blow up and this not to. So it's just talking about that urge to blow it all up. Okay. So that's what we're looking at, Aquarius. What do we do about this? What? Come up here and look at everybody. What? Where are you going? Where are you going, my love? Okay, they're telling me to stop. The Ten of Wands, Justice, and the King of Swords. Whoop! There he goes. Right. So 10 of Wands, we're seeing a beast of burden here, and that's what you're feeling like, Aquarius. It's like, God damn it, I'm just working for somebody else. I'm a beast of burden. So what do we do about this? We need to bring things into balance. And, I mean, the reality of it is, so many people are having to work so hard just to keep body and soul together. I'm going to turn this down. That's better. And so, to say, oh, you've got to balance that out, maybe you don't have that choice. And after working, 60-hour weeks or something, how do you say you've got to give as much time to your creative side as you do to that work side? So what do? I'm going to start harping on this so fucking hard, you guys. Meditation. Every day. Find something that takes your brain someplace else, whether it's the half-hour easy slap on the headphones, Kelly Howell, off you go. I mean, you can go sit on a toilet and go lock a door, go in your closet, something, claim that half hour. If you can't claim the half hour, find a 10-minute recording that you can listen to and just go, like that's this beautiful piece of floaty music, but it's got to generate that positive feeling every time. It's like we talked about this in one live stream. That's the Way of the World is one of those songs for me. It will always make me feel better. Always, always, always. So you've got to find something, something, something to bring some balance back. And this is also talking about you've got to open your mouth and say what's fair and what's not fair. That if you're working too hard and you're taking on more than your share, which is what the Ten of Wands represents to me, you got to learn how to say no. You've got to hand it back so that you can relieve the pressure and not be so, you know, hot nuts to just get the fuck out of Dodge. And if you need to, get the fuck out of Dodge for a day or two. That's hard to do now. But you've got to find your means of escape. You've got to find a place where you can generate a sense of freedom within the context that you have. And then we've got King of Swords over here. I'm going to look him up. Okay, that's Wands. And here he comes. I make intelligent and wise decisions about my future. So, you know, in my Hanson Roberts deck, he's the bastard, aka the motherfucker. Intelligence, logic, rules and law, clear thinking, a strong communicator. That's Aquarius. I mean, swords, air in this deck, fixed air, that's Aquarius. There you go. So get your thoughts clear about it. And what did he say again? Damn it. More sugar. More sugar, please. I make intelligent and wise decisions about my future. So make considered decisions, Aquarius, not just impulsive. That's the thing here, is we just want to bust the chains out of anger and get the fuck out of here. Well, deal with the anger, deal with the energy of the anger, get out of, you know, get some space for yourself somehow. But then you've got to talk about what's too much and how you can balance that out and do it in a clear and creative way. Alrighty. Who's next? Yes, it does. Okay. Libra. Last day for your sun sign, Libra. And let me look at the timing. Sun, whoops. Oh, now I'm in trouble. Sun goes into Scorpio at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Okay. Oh. He's now crashed in my lap, by the way, where he spends most of his time. Okay. They said stop. Parasite. All right. So, something sucking off of you, something that's taking more than it gives. Moon phase is waxing crescent. The stage is depression, when the only answer to lack of self-efficiency is to cling to another one. We can't survive alone. What can't survive alone will seek company, but instead of growing together, they will wither together. So, this is talking about the give and take of relationships and making sure that it is a give and take. And Libra, if it's not in balance, if you're not getting your share, if it's not that true give and take, you know, then you've got to speak up. Now, is this, you can see it a little better. Is this your partner? What part of you is this talking about? You know, where we're willing to just let someone, sorry, I got to turn my chair around. Where we're willing to let someone do things for us, but not willing to reciprocate. So this is relationship checkup for you, Libra, about reciprocal, you know, making sure things are reciprocating. And this isn't necessarily just romance. This is also, you know, any kind of relationship. Okay. Okay, Orsi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Oops. All right. What do we got here? 3. What do you know? All right. Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, and Temperance. Temperance, I mean, if we had Justice, it would be just as good. But Temperance is also a Libra card about tempering things, keeping things in balance. All right. So, Queen of Pentacles. I want to read her phrase. I enjoy my deeply connected life and I lead it with an outpouring of warmth, abundance, and love. So, there you go, Libra. Connected, if nobody's connected, if not a Libra. You know, Libra and Gemini and Pisces are the connectors extraordinaire. So it's talking about, let me see here, talking about parasite. Claiming what's yours, okay, and I lead it with an outpouring of warmth, abundance, and love. So this is talking about sharing your gifts. And Five of Swords is like a defeat. So is this talking about you being too willing to overshare, to overgive your personal resources here? I'm gonna give, and I just heard I'm gonna give and I'm gonna give, and and they're not appreciating it because we've got Five of Swords, which talks about a defeat there. And then Temperance here says we got to bring things back into balance. Let me look at the lessons move me ahead always. Conflict, unfair advantage, experiencing loss. All right, hollow victories. And then we've got the Temperance card. Alchemy, blending in. I walk the middle path and nourish my spiritual wholeness. So we've got to get a balance between sharing the abundance that you have and sharing your beautiful sense of connection and social engagement, and not getting sucked dry by it. And Temperance says it's time to learn that lesson for the last time, for real. Learn, the last chunk of that lesson, and just bring things back into balance now. Really bring it back into balance. Okay, let me see Anne. All right, Anne. Thank you, dears. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Nighty-night, Orsi and Anne. A question. Moon in Aries, but the reading for Aries never quite resonates. Well, because I guess, when people are doing Aries readings and it's maybe more resonant to the Aries sun. Are you sure about your birth time? Number one. Do you have either a very early degree or a late degree of Aries as your moon? And it just maybe, won't necessarily resonate for you. I don't know. I'd have to see your chart. I definitely have to see your chart. So, all right. Nighty-night. And I'm going to finish up with Libra here. This is an interesting format. I'm kind of glad I went for this because I like the way it's kind of panning out. What do you guys think? Okay, Leo is up next. That's me. That means while I'm shuffling, I'm going to have a bite. All right. The temple of my body. Oh, so good. God, that sounded like a demon. All right. Oh my God. The temple of my body. Moon phases first quarter. Grief stages depression. I feel I am not worth enough. My body is the temple of my soul. It has no secrets to me. Okay. This card is about the darkness in the body. Culture can make us take distance from what is our corporality. So many religions and customs, for instance, demonize sex in many different ways, lacing it with guilt as an assassin could lace food with poison. On the other side, we are collaborators in cheapening our body, hiding it, being shamed by it, selling it, giving it away for nothing. It happens when we accept an abusive relationship, when we refuse to respect the body of another, or more simply, when we do things like being too lazy to eat healthily. Now, I'm not going to own that one, and I'll tell you why. In the last week, I've made a big pot of chili. I have made a big pot of beef stew. I've made a big pot of chicken paprikash. So I have been cooking up a storm, good, healthy keto meals. This is my pleasure, and I'm not going to feel ashamed of it. Our body is a temple, it cannot be defiled. We can take a shower, raise our chin, feel proud. It's our body, ours. Okay. So what we're dealing with here is just body image and what we think of ourselves and what kind of thoughts we direct towards our very own precious piece of earth, the only piece of earth that we actually don't even own. We're borrowing it. It goes back to mommy afterwards. So what do you really own in this life? There's a question. Oh, looky. Oh, there's a bunch, so I'm going to shuffle some more. Because we're only taking 3. All right. Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, and the Empress, just out of curiosity. All right. So this talks about apprenticeship, learning, studying. The Nine of Wands is boundaries. And the Empress, I mean, oh, look at these cards. Look at these cards side by side. Look at those images. Is that like a perfect opposite? I mean, wow, what a pair. Okay, so it's going to take practice. It's going to take boundaries to reclaim the feeling of our bodies being sacred. Mine really, really happened when I gave birth, you know, and watched that whole thing happen and participated in, you know. So to just get to that place again where I understand that this is sacred land, boy, this is sacred territory. And love it, you know. Here's something I do on a regular basis. I mean, I have people in my home that hug me every day. But this is something you can do. Just reach around as far as you can and give yourself a big hug. It feels good. It does. And, you know, just to say thank you. Thank you to your feet for walking you through the day, every damn day. Thank you to every part of your body that hurts. For, you know, I mean, I'll be apologizing to my body when the sugar hits bottom because that, pardon me, for every molecule of glucose in your blood, you retain 2 molecules of water. So inflammation. And when, you know, the sugar's out of my system, I pee, and then the inflammation's gone. But when I'm eating a lot of sugar, there's pain that comes with that, and I need to apologize to my body for that, not say, oh my God, things hurt, and stop hurting, you know. Take responsibility. So with practicing our skills and setting boundaries, the Empress says we can reclaim this, we can get away from this, my body, you know, almost this self-harming kind of thing, and back to this beautiful goddess saying, I am manifest reality, and every atom of me is sacred. Okay. All right, can't remember. 4 planets in Taurus could certainly do something in, you know, to that much groundedness. And like I said, not everything is going to resonate for everybody. Like when I listen to things about, you know, my Pisces or Scorpio, my moon sign or my rising sign, sometimes they're not as potent as my sun sign. And also sometimes sun sign stuff doesn't quite resonate. So I don't know, any number of reasons, hon. All right. There we go, Leo. And this isn't vanity. This is true love of the glory that you are, Leo. Okay. Shuffling, that means bite time. I'm going to eat the rest of this. Here. Taurus. Hang around, Ann. Yep. I won't cry for you, is what it's called. It's getting easier to talk and eat as we go along. Imagine that. All right. Moon phases third quarter. Grief stage is acceptance. Sometimes when it's over, closure must be created, not just found. All right. Closure comes, and this is the acceptance phase of grief, remember. Talking about letting go, dealing with the anger. Closure comes when you dry up your tears. It's a gorgeous moment when you allow yourself to, frankly, don't give a damn about it. All that was past is not a credit or a debit. It's just suddenly no more than a gift. You can raise your chin. After all, tomorrow's another day. Like I said, this deck is interesting because the translations are a little off English-wise, but that can actually give you something more subtle to hook onto. Not sure how to say that. So it's talking about moving on from grief and getting to that stage of acceptance. So that's what we're talking about here, Taurus. And, all right. I want to look at that again. Sometimes when it's over, closure must be created, not just found. Oh, I didn't read the sentence, that's why. I give you my last gift. I shed my last tear for you. It's a time not to let you free, but to let myself free. So, looking at whatever is in the past that still hasn't come to completion, still has not allowed, you haven't allowed yourself to really let go of it and move on. And by the way, the color of the altar tonight is in honor of the Capricorn moon. I went with kind of a nice earthy orange. All right. We have the Two of Wands, the Emperor, and the Tower. So the Two of Wands and the Emperor, I mean, we really are talking about making a decision and in your authority saying, it is time. I am deciding now to move on. I am deciding to complete this process. So there's active and passive grief process. You know, when grief starts, you're a passenger, man. It grabs you and off you go. Then the active part of it is in acknowledging I am in grief. I have had a loss and I have a right to my feelings, and there's no right or wrong about my feelings. And there's no timetable for me to be finished grieving, you know? And so the active part is becoming really aware of that and aware of the phases of grief. And that's why this Dark Mirror Oracle is so good, because it talks about the phases of grief. And, you know, looking at where you are in this natural process. But then there is a point where, I mean, even for somebody dearly loved that has passed, that down the road you get to a point and it's kind of like, I'm more in good memories when they come up at holidays and things like that. It's more about the good memories of them than about feeling the loss of them. And that is a very freeing thing. And that can sometimes be a decision. It is time for me to do this, and I'm choosing to focus on, you know, that kind of thing. The Emperor and then the Tower. Ooh, let's see. What's the matter? My lap is so warm. All right, the world's filled with opportunities for adventure, and I welcome them into my life with planned action. So talking about completing a grief process, it often comes with this sense of, now I'm ready for a new adventure. I'm ready to move on through my life. And the Emperor, I lead the circumstances in my world with confidence, harmony, and generosity. So, I mean, he really just talks about making that decision. It is time, you know. And then the Tower In chaos, I move toward the brightest light. What's up, baby? Unexpected change, chaos, the rug pulled from beneath your feet, beliefs challenged. Okay. So, Taurus, we are also talking about the fact that it's not a controlled process. There was another one earlier where we talked about something not being a controlled process. Oh, breaking free. So let me see here. Ah, okay. The Tower is talking about the breakdown of the structure, that one of the ways you complete the grief process is you change the structure that built up around the thing that you're grieving. So if there's a relationship, there might be a routine, things that you do, places you go, even TV shows you watch, stuff like that. There might be structure around it. In terms of, someone close dying, same thing. Changing their room, moving their clothes along, donating their clothing and their possessions. So the Tower says something that's outgrown needs to go away, needs to break down and go away so that we can truly start a fresh new beginning. And that might feel a little chaotic in the beginning when you're letting go of things that are so familiar, but it can also feel kind of like pulling a Band-Aid off and, getting on with something new. All right. Sweetie, you keep melting off my lap. You keep melting off my lap because my lap is so hot. Okay. And here we have Aries. Whoop. The Triumph of Lies. Yikes, that's the number one card. Moon phase is waxing gibbous. Grief stage is bargaining. He keeps putting his head off my lap and I can feel him slipping. Hold on. Turn your little ass around like that. Get in the crack. Ride the crack. Okay, baby, that's better. All right. If something hurts me, I change myself so it can stop. Not all that glitters is gold. Emptiness is felt when there is nothing under the dress. What? I don't get that. All right. I'm not going to worry about it. Eyes behind our gilded cage. Okay, so this is just changing yourself rather than changing a situation. So I think we might be talking about sort of toxic adaptability here. And Aries isn't ever really accused of being too adaptable. Let's see. The Triumph of Lies is about appearance, and appearance is always so important in the world. Day by day, it seems more important. Can it be a lie too? We seek to be what the world outside desires. Okay. So, Aries, this is just talking about where you are tempted to toe the line in order to be accepted, or where you have too much focus on what people think about you, where your ego is really driving the boat to the point where I am so invested and focused on what other people are saying about me and what they're going to think of me. And that can be part of the Aries arrogance. They think a lot of themselves, and maybe you're thinking everybody else thinks just as much about you, but they don't. They don't. Everybody is really wound up in their own thing. Trust me on that one. All right. We've got more than 3, so hold up. All right, Aries. Talking about letting go of the idea that other people are focused on us. 4 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 10 of Swords. So this is some dissatisfaction in here. So I've got some dissatisfaction in my life, and it needs to be addressed. But instead of address it directly, instead I'm going to focus on other people and what they're doing and what they're saying and what they're thinking. 6 of Cups was kind of trained in from childhood. What are the neighbors going to think? What's everybody going to think? What are they going to say about you if you, What is everybody going to think? This is where we start shifting the source of our happiness from where it belongs to where it don't belong, right? And then 10 of Swords says this has got to crash and burn. Pardon, it's time for it to absolutely go away. All right, let me look at this. I am healing every day is the 10 of Swords. Painful endings, crisis, being stabbed in the back. All right, so when we have our focus on everybody else and what they're thinking about us, and we're convinced that they're focused on us, it's very easy to see slights where there are no slights. It's very easy. What you do is you start reading into all their behaviors this interpretation that this is about me. And that is the way of suffering. That way leads to hell, seriously. Because what are you going to do about it? And then if you do talk and confront somebody about it, you're likely to get met with a lot of surprise and maybe even some anger that, you know, fortunately, hopefully you would have someone that you could communicate with that would say, you know, I am not at all thinking that. What's up, you know? So I would say it's time to look kind of to yourself for the source of your dissatisfaction and fix it in yourself rather than focusing on what's going on outside. Root out the problem. Where did I learn this? How did I get this idea in my head that everybody's focused on me and aimed at me with, you know, bad stuff? And then let it crash. Let it crash and burn so you can heal that. So that's what's coming up for Aries to be healed. And let's mention that this is the kind of stuff that comes up in a Mercury retro. Mercury retroing through Scorpio. All right, Gemini. That didn't take long. Same deal for you, Gemini. Well, I'm tempted to try again, but that leapt out. I put it on top of the deck and it just went yeet. And that one wanted to come. We'll see who else does too. King of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and the Empress again. All right, so Gemini, for you, it's about just taking control of your own creativity and what it is you're here to do. Passionate and heart-fueled, we build this empire of light together. So time to get hooked into your passion so you've got your focus on yourself and creativity and what you're here to do rather than what everybody's thinking about it. Okay? King of Wands is the master of creativity. Just, the master creator. Get the idea, get moving on it. And the Eight of Pentacles says time to raise your skill level to match the challenge. I have always been a firm believer in committing to something that's beyond your skill level, reasonably beyond your skill level, and then raising your skill level to meet the challenge. I highly recommend it. It really is a great way to move forward, and particularly when you have things that, like, music, for instance. It took me 30 years to learn how to play Baby I'm Gonna Leave You by Led Zeppelin. But I went at it and went at it and went at it. And every time I went at it, I learned something massive, So raising your skill level to meet the challenge, choosing a challenge to get yourself out of thinking about what other people, and Gemini, this is where you've got to stop listening to other people too, particularly the ones that say, oh, I was talking to so-and-so and they said. Deal with what people say to you directly. Okay? And then the Empress card, again, talking about just abundance. And did I read her phrase before? I'm ready to give birth to my abundantly rich future. There you go, Gemini. Get cracking on your future. Forget about what everybody's going to think. All right. Now, my God, I feel like I'm sitting in a frickin' sauna. It's like I've been hot flashing again lately, and I haven't done that for years. It's very strange. All right, envious gluttony. We've got that one again. So, back to that, Capricorn. Looking at where you're eating your feelings because you think you don't deserve what somebody else has, so I'm going to get what I deserve in this form. And, okay. Five of Cups, Seven of Swords, Six of Swords. All right, this is also talking about great disappointment. Now, the Four of Cups is kind of just this lingering dissatisfaction, which is sort of the natural state of human beings. We just always have this low grade, at least low grade, dissatisfaction. So the Five of Cups says, my tender heart helps me navigate toward my bright future. This is grieving, disillusion, disappointment, betrayal, bitterness, wallowing, self-pity, can signify a broken heart. So Capricorn, looking at where you're just beyond disappointed, that you've experienced a loss and we're grieving this. Seven of Swords. All right. Thief card. I like to read the phrases that come with these. I act from a place of love and morality, and the universe witnesses my honest intentions. Deception or betrayal taking only what's needed. The universe bearing witness to true intentions. Sorry. Getting away with something, that's what I always see. Moving silently and quickly. So, okay. I mean, you look at him heading away from her. She's just like, and if you look at what's going on here, I don't know if you could see, she's got her foot in a bowl and she's tipping it out. So these bowls are full of things and they're kind of swirling down the drain. But she actually looks like she's tipping the bowl out. So it's just sort of this, I'm done, you know, let it all go, that sense of grieving. And then Seven of Swords talks about moving away from that. This isn't really gelling for me. Hey, Samantha, are you still there? Check in. All right, Six of Swords. Well, I mean, look at all the crows here of moving things forward. So it really is time for you to just take what you can get from it. That's what it is. Take what you can get from this situation. Time to assess the situation and look at where you really have lost. All right, wait a minute. I need to get clear on this. I feel like I'm talking and it's not making any sense. Hold on. So the envious gluttony is about achievement that is motivated by a sense of lack. And here, Five of Cups is talking about grieving that lack. So time to look at something that was lost that can never be regained. Like stuff that you needed in your childhood that you didn't get. And you're never going to because you're not a child anymore. So time to move beyond that grief, heal it by taking what you can get from it, by taking something away from it. Here's what I learned from that. Here is how this has made me stronger. Here's how this is the skills that I had to learn because I didn't have that. All right? So there you're reclaiming something from it. You're taking something of worth, and then the Six of Swords talks about just moving forward. Did I read that one? I accept help as I easily cross this transition. And then time to move forward, you know, looking at some help and just saying, take me beyond. All right? Okay, Capricorn. You know what doing these live streams is doing for me? One of the things is it's making me better. I'm gaining skill at knowing when the reading's done. Because, I mean, usually when I do a big tableau, I know when the reading's done because I've gone through all the categories. With this, sometimes it's so kind of nebulous. The message is kind of hard to get a grip on, and I want to just keep talking until I feel satisfied. And it's like, nope, the message is out. Time to move on. Okay. This is Sagittarius that's up next. And here we go. Sacrifice. They are performing well tonight, I would say. Wrong deck. All right. Sacrifice. Moon phase is waning gibbous. The grief stage is anger. The sentence is, I have accepted my duty, and in my release, I found freedom. Okay. There's a strong power in sacrifice. Our fears, our hopes, they're all chains to a small world. Our sense of self is a small, petty creature of uncertain resolve and shaky horizons. With sacrifice, we renounce our sense of self. We accept being lost. We accept being shaken and cut and bruised and hurt and burdened and locked and stricken and despised and gossiped and betrayed and misunderstood and left alone. Ouch! To rot, to die, with just words of thanks while the world goes on over our broken dreams. But when we drown our sense of self to sacrifice, we are also a greater person. We are screaming, I exist, I made the difference. We accept a price to pay, and we used our blood and tears as currency. That gives us the right to stand tall. So when you are in a place where you just have to give it up, you can then say, I did it, and I made a difference. My sacrifice made a difference. So, but this is also, if we're looking at shadow self, we're looking at acknowledging where you sacrifice in a bad way, where you have given things up and given things over that maybe you shouldn't have. Okay? All right. And the thing is, I mean, sacrifice is a Piscean thing. It's a Neptunian thing. Sacrifice, karma says what you get, what you pay for. Take what you want and pay for it. Sacrifice says give it up. You're not getting anything for this. The Lovers, the Star, and Death. Wow, Sagittarius baby. Okay. The Lovers, the Star, Death. Let's just go straight to the book, y'all. I want to look at this again, too. Oops. I have accepted my duty, and in my release I've found freedom. Okay, acceptance of duty here. My heart is open to deeply meaningful relationships. I expand into this union with loving trust. So this is a choice, dualities, harmony, lover, romantic relationship, friendship, unity, choosing to allow yourself to fall in love, healthy boundaries, soulmates. Next to the sacrifice card, it really is talking about what happens to you in relationship. Where do you lose yourself? We all do. You know, we all lose ourselves if you open yourself to intimacy. If you're doing it right, you're going to lose part of yourself. You know, there's a place where boundaries kind of get permeable. But this is talking about really acknowledging what your tendency is to give over too much, to sacrifice yourself to the relationship. All right. Then we have the Star. I expect miracles, expectations fulfilled. And so here, looking at where you feel you can't expect someone to meet you halfway in a relationship. What are your expectations of a relationship that cause you to sacrifice yourself in such a way? Wherever you do sacrifice. And then death and rebirth, I allow myself to let go of the past in order to add energy to new beginnings. Cycles of transformation, initiation process, ta-da. And of course, death is final change. So looking at what our expectations are in relationships, and then bringing the sacrificial lamb syndrome to a close, thinking that I'm not, I will never get my needs met in a relationship, so I just settle. You know, I settle for thinking that my expectations are out of line, and if I don't sacrifice myself in this way, I'm just not worthy, you know. So it's time to look at that, Sagittarius. And then the death card says it's time to bring it to a final end. Isn't that right, Pi? Isn't that right? All right. But three majors. Sag, there's some big stuff for you to look at here. And it's funny because the the stellium wad is in Capricorn, and Mercury's retrograding in Scorpio, which bracket Sagittarius. You know, one before, one after. All right. And now we have Scorpio. Hi, baby. Whoops. There goes. Alone in the world. Moon phase, third quarters, the stage is acceptance. In solitude I stand, in solitude I may shine. How scorpionic is that? I made my home a cloister, my heart a chalice for the faintest breeze, and yet I stand alone. My heart a chalice for the faintest breeze. The language here is so interesting. Made my home a cloister. So, alone in the world, Scorpio, this tendency to isolate. And there was a thing on Facebook saying isolationism is symptomatic. It is trauma-based. Extreme isolationism and guilty. You know, when you've been hit hard many times, you learn to take care of yourself. And when that becomes your comfy place, it's very easy when things get rough to just go, I'm out of here, I'm backing up, I'll take care of myself. And you can take care of yourself very well, and you can actually survive. And Scorpio can survive well in isolation and solitude. But is that the best way to survive? So we want to look at how, Scorpio, we move past this isolationist tendency into the highest developmental stage, which is interdependence. Interdependence. Codependence is neurotic. Independence, extreme independence, is neurotic. Interdependence is the truth of it. We have to take care of each other. All right. Ace of Cups, Hierophant, King of Cups. I wish you could see him. He's flaked out in my lap. All right. So the Ace of Cups, look at this. Look at the heart here with the hands around it. Bracketing. So talking about kind of nurturing that joy in yourself, Scorpio. Nurturing that joy and allowing it to kind of start to emerge. Look, we've got the Ace and the King. The beginning of the emotional journey and the mastery. So, and Hierophant in the middle is, how do I get there? Step by step, I get there. By owning your feelings, Scorpio, owning the intensity of your feelings. And working through them, taking responsibility for them, you know, for the energy of them. And the Hierophant is the stairs, the way to get there. So any kind of meditation, any kind of spiritual practice. What is your spiritual practice to get there? This is saying non-negotiable, Scorpio. And then King of Cups talks about mastery of your emotions so that in the context of a relationship, or in the context of life, actually, I can have my feelings and let them have their full sway because they're not running the show. I am. All right. And next up is Virgo. So I'm very interested in, if you pop over to Discord, there's a general chat text channel, and I think I have a Q&A one there. But please feel free to DM me, but also feel free to start up a chat on one of those channels and start listing some things. Here are the things I'm interested in. Here's what I'd like to talk about and to learn. And there we have Alone in the World, again for Virgo, same thing. All right. And I just heard the phrase self-preservation, and a lot of times when we isolate and we back up and, you know, go it alone. It really is about self-preservation. So I want to validate that as well, and don't shame yourself if you need to do that, you know. Oops. All right. Only 2 there. We'll take these 2, and then I'll take a third. Hi, baby. He just stroked my arm. All right. 8 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. So let's look at Virgo's approach to dealing with this isolationism and feeling alone in the world. And, you know, maybe it's not you isolating. Maybe it's the situation that's been forced on you. I can't tell you how my heart goes out to people who live alone, you know, not necessarily by choice through this pandemic. It's just got to be terrible. I would be okay, but it's got to be terrible for so many people. All right, 8 of Cups. I'm going to look this up. Ooh, I just popped my back. Yay. I walk away from negativity and I choose myself in a rebellious act of self-love. I choose myself. Oh, okay, so there's the positive side of isolating. I choose myself in a rebellious act of self-love. I choose myself as my own best friend, and I treat myself in that way. This is a little aside. Don't know what it really has to do with this, but I just realized the other day walking through the store that I can actually talk to myself in public and nobody knows now with the mask. Because, I mean, I do it all the time anyway, but now nobody can tell. Yay. All right. Letting go, releasing that which no longer serves you. A ritual releasing, a time to move stuck energy, walking away, leaving your old reality to pursue a new one. Yes, so we're moving forward here. From the concept of being alone to I choose myself, moving forward. 7 of Pentacles, nurturing this, you planting seeds and letting them grow. That's a nice Virgo card. Let's see. As I give thanks for what I'm about to harvest, I know my life's headed in the right direction. So the Harvest card, what a perfect card to come up for Virgo. So again, look at what you've harvested from your alone time. What have you learned about yourself that absolutely delights you? And if you haven't, how much real time have you spent with yourself? Trying things, exploring your own ideas, pursuing the things that make you excited. And then 2 of Cups talks about relationship coming in. Romantic partners, soulmates, friendships. I thrive in partnerships and my heart leaps with joy when I connect. So finding ways to connect, yes, but then again, going back, I choose myself in a rebellious act of self-love. Look at this. Harvesting, you know, from your time alone with yourself, planting new seeds with yourself, new interests. You know, things like, one of the things that can help you with this is thinking about what if I only had 3 months to live and I could do anything I wanted, you know, or I had physical ability to do what I wanted, but I knew I was checking out, you know. So think about the things you would do, those bucket listy kind of things. All right. Who's left? Anybody got a guess? Pisces. That's who's left. And as always on these live streams, you guys, I know sometimes I'm challenged with keeping up with, you know, looking at the chat stream, but if you're seeing something I'm not seeing in these cards, please jump on. This is why I can't wait to get over to Discord and on the voice chats, because we can do readings together. All right. Atonement. Oh, Pisces. Poor Pisces. I mean, nobody does atonement like a Pisces. So this is what you have to look at, your shadow self, Pisces, the mea culpa syndrome. Moon phase is waning gibbous, stage is depression, accepting the full burden of responsibility, to be fair as well the unfair, with the fair as well the unfair, with no discount. Accepting the full burden, the fair as well as the unfair with no discount. Okay, I get it. So accepting the full burden, accepting pain is a way to survive the pain. Not all things burn, but some should. Okay. Accepting pain, how did they say that? Is a way to survive the pain? Is a way to survive the pain. Let me tell you, giving birth, when you're trying to run away from that pain, it's going to get worse. When you get to the point of going, bring it. Okay, come on, it's there. Yep, that hurts. Bring it. The experience of it changes. And the experience of pain is a subjective thing. You know, there's not just an absolute scale of pain. So, and I love that they changed the pain scale in doctor's offices when they'd say, you know, 0 is no pain and 10 is the worst pain you've ever felt. It's like, well, what if the worst pain you've ever felt is like a toothache and not, you know, something really excruciating, which toothaches are really excruciating, but it's subjective. And then you have these experiences that reset your pain scale. One of the things that reset my pain scale was when I cut just the tip of the pad of my finger off, and I went to get stitches, and they jabbed the most sensitive part many times, and I couldn't pass out. I wanted to pass out so badly. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And I have had 2 8-pound, 2-ounce babies at home. So, bad, bad, bad. That one reset the pain scale for me. Now they use faces, you know, from to, and makes so much more sense. All right. So atonement. Accepting the pain in order to move through it. Okay, I did it. All right, I'll take it. You know, I learned in one of my jobs, one of the best ways when I got in trouble for something or the boss was bitching me out is to say, yep, you're right. I fucked up. I fucked up. I am so sorry. So, accepting the pain makes it a lot less, because what are they going to do after that? You know, you really take the sting out of whatever bitching they were going to do, and you just step up and say, you're right. I fucked up. Okay. If you're just showing up, Rose, yes, you missed Capricorn. I'm sorry, honey. I am so sorry. All right. Whoop, they're getting loose. Time to see. 6 of Wands, the Star, and Death again. All right, Victory card. So when you accept the pain, you take the consequences. All right, give me my punishment. Show me the bill. I'm going to pay it. When you pay the debt, when you atone, and that what atonement is paying karmic debt. My stomach just growled and he went, ooh. So atonement is paying karmic debt in this lifetime. It is saying, I did something wrong. I need to make it right. I need to balance it out. I need to pay for that wrong deed. And you atone, you pay for the wrong deed, and then you move on clean. Hopefully having learned something, so you move on with a bonus if you do it right. 6 of Wands is victory. Talking about, yes, this is victory. Finally, I can pay that up and I can move on. The Star talks about expectations and then final change. All right, let me go back to atonement for a second here. Right. Not all things burn, but some should. Yeah, atonement is about paying the bills. Unadulterated, unfiltered, not negotiated, about full and open acceptance of consequences. So there's the victory card, and then I'm trying to relate these two because this talks about expectations and hopes and dreams. I think it's talking about clearing the karmic path. So when you pay up and you atone, you are definitely clearing the way forward karmically. You don't have to carry that burden with you. And so you can reset your hopes and dreams without the burden of guilt, you know? And the Death card says it can be a whole new start, a brand new start. So Pisces, time to look at what you're still sort of avoiding responsibility for and what you need to pay up for, and then do it to clear yourself. This is Samhain, you guys. Samhain is coming. And it's about the harvest and what you harvest and then you let go of the rest of it. You can't even see his eyes. He's so dark. Let's see if I can get him up here. Because my lap is sweating, baby boy. There. Okay. See if I can scoot over again. All right. So yeah, karmic debt, time to look at what it is we're harvesting from this last year and what it is just needs to go. Just really needs to go. Okay. All right, Rose. Ciao. And with that, we are done. I kind of liked that format. I might try this format again. Well, no, because the format is really tied to the decks. But that was just a good format. I'm thinking I will use the dark mirror that way in the future. Okay, let's go for the gooeyest one. The last 5 minutes here. Me and Pi are going to sit here. All right, I'll turn the light on for you. Me and Pi are going to sit here. Look up here. Look up here, boo. Look up here, boo-boo. There he is. You see the little gray on his neck? And his lips. Oh, my God, he's got gray lips. Ah! They're all kind of soft because they're sitting by the fire and the charcoal. That's yummy, Pie. No, baby. No. They're all kind of melty. No. Not yet, baby. One of these days I'll let you loose. Oh, did you see that? We're fucking dying every day because he's so cute. Come on. He's my good boy. Yep, chocolate is not for you. Sorry. I'm gonna sit here and eat candy, you guys. And I think after this, I'm gonna go down and make some popcorn. I said we're not eating grains, but I'm eating popcorn tonight. And watch an old horror movie. Invasion of the Body Snatchers we might watch tonight. What? Oh, he's going for my necklace. Which is my croning necklace. Look at this. It's a, wait. Let's start thinking here, Luna. Wow, does that make more sense? Now you can see him. Here, bye. No, don't back up. You'll fall down. Don't back out. Anyway, Pi and I loved hanging out with you. I'm really happy when you show up for live streams. Yes, I am eating sugar. Yes, Annette, I am eating some damn sugar. You better believe it. I need it for my soul today. We are binging. We'll go back to it. When Samhain is over, we will go back to it. But tonight we're just having kind of a little binge because everybody's just been feeling shitty. So this is, this is for the soul. Keto is our basic diet. And when we have birthdays, we have cakes. So this is Samhain, and we're having candy. And then I will get back on the wagon, on the keto wagon. Oh boy, a double. It's also kind of hard because things keep getting more expensive. So, baby boy. All right, you can have the wrapper. It's gonna keep you happy here. You can have the wrapper for pizza pie. So yes, he's been called pumpkin pie and pudding pie and pea pie, pie. And I hate trends. Says the woman who's been doing unboxing videos for a year. But I never was down with the trend of naming cats after food. And now I have a cat named Pie, but it's P-Y-E. It's Pie-Wacket. It's Pie-Wacket. Yes, it is. From the movie Bell, Book, and Candle, 1958. Jimmy Stewart. Oh, what's her name? Jack Lemmon. I can't think of her name. Kim Novak. Elsa Lanchester. All right. And here he goes. All right, you guys. Thanks so much. Shoot me a tip if you feel like it. There's a donate button down below. Thank you, Annette, so much for the Muse Tarot. Just amazing. And, you know, obviously I'm using the Light Seers tonight, so it's amazing still as well. And so you can send me a deck and I'll give you a reading. Go on over and join my Discord. Let's start building that community and figure out what we want to do with it, you guys, okay? Hope to see you there. I hope everybody's safe and happy. Eat some damn sugar if it makes your soul feel good. And until I see you tomorrow, come on, Pie Pie. That time I say bye-bye, bye-bye. Until then, Pie and I say bye-bye. Bye-bye.